Hello, everybody. Welcome into KSJB's Prep Sports Preview for Week 6 of high school football in the state of North Dakota. Ryan King here with Dany Ledda. Hello, Dany.
Hey, everyone.
So what we are going to be doing here is giving you the things that you need to know in the state of high school football in North Dakota, as well as some games of the week. And we got some really good ones, as well as the game that Dany's going to be going to, our featured game of the week on the Prep Sports Roundup that's going to be tonight from 7 to 10 on KSJB Radio. So let's get into a couple of things that you need to know in the state of North Dakota. The number one thing, Dany, and here we go again, is number one is up for grabs in Class AAA. The cursed spot that we have been talking about the last couple of weeks, up for grabs. Number 2 Fargo Davies will be at number 1 Shanley. What's your thoughts on this? Is number 1 going to go down again?
It certainly could. What's crazy to me is these schools are like 7 blocks away. They're closer to each other than the Fargo Dome itself. That's going to be a great game. Kind of wish we were there watching that one, you know?
Yeah, this is going to be a good game, and we have seen Fargo Davies in this spot before. Shanley's trying to defend it. I got a feeling Shanley might be able to break the curse, but history shows that number 1 has not been a good spot. We've seen Fargo Davies here before. Bismarck Legacy has been there before. West Fargo Cheyenne was there before, and all these teams got knocked down. So, yes, I think this is going to be a big game in AAA tonight.
I'm sticking with the curse. Number 1 falls tonight.
All right, that's awesome. All right, and then the second thing that you need to know is when we're talking about 9-man on the Prep Sports Roundup, we always talk about the top 3, which is New Rockford Cheyenne-Matic, Lemoore Litchfield Marion, and Linton HMB. Well, tonight in Week 6 in 9-man, there are some really good matchups outside of the top 5, and one of them is Grant County Flasher at Kidder County, and the other one is Hankinson at South Border. And Dany, you are going to be kind of featured at that Grant County Flasher and Kidder County game.
I will be in Kidder County tonight. I wouldn't miss this one. 2 5-1 teams with playoff implications. One of these teams can play spoiler. I cannot wait to see this matchup tonight.
And the other thing that I'm looking at is this Hankinson at South Border game, because Hankinson had been in that top 5 before, plays Lemoore, gets beat down, they get dropped out. South Border was trying to make a case for the top 5. They have to play Lemoore, they get beat down, and they get dropped off. So this could be definitely one of those things where the winners of these games are going to be receiving votes, and the losers are going to be waiting for the playoffs.
Absolutely. We always talk about those top 3 giants. There's a couple more places at the table. Someone can play spoiler. Just because they're better record doesn't mean you can't come in and make a name for yourself. And I think that's what these top, outside of the top 3 teams are trying to do tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And the number 3 thing that you all should know is I thought this was really cool, was in Class A. Number 2 Killdeer in Class A. They are going to be taking on the number 1 Class B school in Montana. They're going to be taking on Malta, Whitewater, Saco, Dotson tonight. And I just find this very interesting. Dany, I mean, a Class A school from North Dakota taking on the number 1 team in Class B in Montana. I don't know what to think about this.
Right, and at this time of the year, when you have records like this, and a game like this is when you're playing a team from Montana. You can't draw this up better. You can't write a better drama script than this.
Which leads me to my question on this one, and I just wanted to play devil's advocate like I usually do on Fridays, is the number 1 team in 9-man is New Rockford Cheyenne-Matic. If you added 2 more players to make it a full team and they're playing teams in Class A, how many teams do you think New Rockford Cheyenne-Matic could play with in Class A?
Play with every single one of them.
Thank you. I was going to be bold and say all of them too, and I think so too. And you're adding 2 more to that monster up there?
Yeah, I'm not saying they dominate like they are in 9-man dish. I'm not saying that, but they are competitive, and they're making a good game every week, and they're in that top 5.
Totally agree with you there, Dany. So let's talk about our games of the week in AAA. Well, you and I already talked about it. It's number 2 Fargo Davies at number 1 Shanley. Hands down, game of the week. Number 1 up for grabs. Can Shanley defend it, or can Fargo Davies get it back?
Fargo Davies coming in.
Bold statement by Dany Ledda right there. Let's move over to AA. This was the only game for me that seemed like it had some bigger implications. When you look at the top 5 in AA, they all had favorable matchups this week, but Dickinson at Jamestown really sticks out to me. Both of these teams only 1 win on the season. Both of these teams trying to get a morale booster with a win tonight. What's your thoughts on that? Dickinson at Jamestown.
Jamestown lost their star quarterback in week 2 in the first quarter. We were there. We watched it. Really took the wind out of their sails. They're playing for pride, and it's homecoming in Buffalo City tonight. They're going out there, the Blue Jays, with a little more tonight.
I totally agree with you, too. Let's see if Jamestown can get that second win of the season. Over in Class A, it was just what we talked about in our three things to know. Number 2, Killdeer, taking on the number 1 B team, Malta, Whitewater, Saco, Dotson out of Montana. I think this is going to be a good test for Killdeer. They struggled last week and then finally pulled ahead and got the win. And like I had said before, I'd love to see one of those bigger 9-man teams try to play some A schools at full capacity.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be really entertaining to watch. It'd be a great storyline for us. You know?
Yes, and I think Killdeer gets the win tonight, even though I think this team's probably going to put up a fight.
They are. They're playing for a lot of pride. They're crossing that border, and they want to, that 701-406 rivalry. It's coming, just like in college football. It's Montana, North Dakota, and it's starting here at the high school level.
Absolutely. And finally, in 9-man, Grant County Flasher at Kidder County, and then Hankinson at South Border. I had this kind of tied for both of these games because these are pretty big games when you think about it, because when you look at the top 5, they probably ain't going to be losing anytime soon. You look at these matchups tonight, this could matter if they keep going in the top 5, or like I said before, they're going to be waiting for the playoffs.
Grant County Flasher, they're playing for their season tonight. They're playing to play in the postseason tonight. And, Kidder County, they're not going to let this one go just easy at home towards the end of the year like this.
Yeah, I love these matchups, and like we have talked about multiple times during the Prep Sports Roundup, is there are better teams in 9-man other than them top 3 that we always talk about every single week, and when we see matchups like this, that puts a perfect example to it.
Yeah, you took those top 3 teams out, so you put them in A, we'd have one heck of a crazy story to talk about every week in 9-man. It would almost be like the AAA, just teams trading blows, and none of them are close in proximity, so they're not playing each other every week. They're going to be traveling, they're going to be playing hard, and make for an awesome playoff scenario.
All right, so there it is. That's our games of the week in AAA. Number 2, Fargo Davies at number 1, Shanley. AA, Dickinson at Jamestown at A, and Killdeer at Malta, Whitewater, Saco, Dotson, Montana. What a name for a school there. And then in 9-man, we had Grant County Flasher at Kidder County and Hankinson at South Border. So that's going to kind of wrap up our little preview here, Dany. Again, just the things that you needed to know and some big games that were sticking out to us. Make sure tonight, if you can't make it to a game, tune in to the Prep Sports Roundup on KSJB. From 7 to 10, we'll have all the news and updates that you need to know, live in-game reporters, as well as analysis and that statewide scoreboard at the end of every single hour. So, Dany, it's been fun, and I look forward to next week. And I can tell you right now, next week we're going to have some major matchups in all of the classifications. So, be looking forward to that, and we'll talk to you again, friend.
Yeah, I'll talk to you from Steel tonight. I'm excited to see how tonight pans out, especially that AAA game over there in Fargo.
All right, this has been the Week 6 preview on KSJB.